Now, this right here is going to be a fun live. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets controversial. Some of y'all are going to get in these comments, and some of y'all are going to be in the chat cursing me out. Y'all are going to disagree. Some of y'all might agree on certain things. It's going to be real fun. Um, I actually think the hip hop crown was worn 12 times across hip hop history. We're going to go through each of the 12 people. We're going to touch on why we think they wore the crown. From that, of course, you're going to get the top 10 kings of all time. And I'm even going to save towards the end an honorable mention that's kind of going to be a different category. You'll understand more when we get there, but this is about to be fun. Let's get it.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members. Okay. Shout out to all the channel members and shout out to the whole chat and checks and balances. I could have easily done this one right here, edited. I could have just went all the 12 people and then my honorable mentions category and subtopic towards the end, condensed this video down, made it a little bit shorter. But as I thought about it, I was just like, man, I want to do this with a chat because there might be times when I want to go to the chat, get y'all opinions, bring some of y'all comments up on the screen. This might get controversial for y'all at times, or maybe I'm on point and y'all agree. But let's set the stage. I think that the hip hop crown, I'm talking about you are walking around with it on as a fitted 12 times during the course of hip hop history. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. I might get through this and the chat might be like, yo, you forgot this person. Let's set this piece as well. It's very important. For these 12 people that I feel over the course of hip hop history have worn the crown, it's very important that we use the word undisputed. Okay? That means that at that time, we would all agree, at least by hip hop consensus, that this person had the crown on their head. Okay? Undisputed. If there was a time where you was battling for it or whatever, you wasn't the king. Okay? Spoiler alert. I think to make that point further hit hard for y'all, J. Cole. J. Cole, he was in a time spot, even currently, some people would say right now, where it's debated amongst multiple people at a time. J. Cole never, from an undisputed standpoint, wore the crown. Okay? I want to set my own personal rules of how I came up with this list. So y'all don't try to trash me for it, even though some of y'all gonna trash me anyway. And that's the fun thing about doing lives like this with y'all, is it's supposed to be a debate. Not everybody's gonna agree with me, but okay, let's jump to it. I want to kind of go through the eras, and I think by the time I get to like the last 5 people, I might not have them in correct order. I just jotted down this list real quick and then I cut the live on. Okay, I might not have them in the right order of like the years that they were dominating or whatever the case may be, but I still think my 12 is correct. So the first person that really kicked it off, I think that the hip hop consensus gave this man the crown at a time period, was this man right here. Chat, let me just make sure, because I never shared like this before on my screen. Can y'all see what I just brought up on my screen? Can y'all see it? Chat, can y'all see the joint I just brought up on the screen? I'm gonna give it a couple seconds. I see everybody talk. The chat is still catching up. I see y'all already naming some of the kings. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's catching up. Y'all I see thumbs up. That means y'all can see. We can see. Y'all can see who I just put up there. Okay, cool. I appreciate y'all. I've never shared like this before. I've only done like videos, so I appreciate y'all hooking me up. All right, good looking out, y'all. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do all 12 like that. Okay. This is the first crown that was worn to me. Now, what's so crazy is I'm just giving the man that spot from a historical hip hop standpoint. And for me, it's still a debate. But I think a hip hop consensus would probably give him the first crown. Okay. I think the debate for Rakim is still with KRS-One. I think it's still with Big Daddy Kane. Maybe call it preference. I think it's still with Cool G Rap. Some people might even try to throw in Melly Mel in there, whatnot. You know, Cool Mo D might get thrown into there. This is all I'm trying to say. You know, personally, my preference, I always went with from this era. I always went with Big Daddy Kane and Cool G Rap. Personal preference, right? Um, but historically, this man walked away, I think, with that crown. When we all look back and we just say who was the first to wear it, it's gonna go to Rakim. Whether we disagree, personal preference or not, it's gonna go to Rob, man. He was the first person that we really give that credit to for coming out and changing the style of rap as far as just being light years ahead of what everybody else was doing. When we coming out of that hip, the hop, the hippie, the hop, and MC more so applied to moving the crowd and on. Hola, hola, hola. Let me hear you say hola, all that type of right. This man comes out with lyricism, like complex word structures and syllables, and just boom, 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 boom. And it's just the way this man entered the game and just sustained a level of rap was game changing. And he wore the crown. I believe that this might be even Jay-Z's GOAT as far as that type of stature. I could be wrong on that, but I think Jay-Z kind of gives that ode to Rakim as well. Can't take it from the man. I feel like that's the first person that wore the crown. Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat because I feel like during some of this, y'all gonna agree, y'all gonna disagree, y'all gonna get at me, y'all gonna curse me out. It is what it is. Next person, let me grab it. Hold on. Hold on. I'm doing this live. Like I said, I could edit this easily for y'all. Easily for y'all, but I'm doing this live with y'all for a reason, to be interactive, to watch with the chat. And that's why I have to make sure that these pictures is coming up the right way. All right, who's the next up? Who was the 11th person to wear the crown? Here it goes right here. Here the man goes right here. All right, up on the screen. It's the second person to wear the crown. I see some people in the chat right now saying Big Daddy Kane. I feel like once again, he's in that group of Kumo D, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, list goes on. LL Cool J came after that. You know, fast forward, there was a time when it was just like LL Cool J should be the president of Def Jam. Like he should be the top. It was just his movement. One thing about LL that crashed the scene, outside of his lyricism, outside of his rap ability, I think he probably was the first person to just crash all the ceilings when it comes to image. Image. Who are we kidding? Sorry, it's true. When you really, really got the world in your pocket, you don't just have the hip hop enthusiasts with you. You don't have just the purists with you. You don't just have the average everyday rap listeners with you. You don't just have, let's say, the white kids, the black kids. You also have a female demographic. LL, I think, was the first person to really do that. I'm talking about you could have the hardcore hip hop heads at the shows, and then a whole section of women just throwing their drawers on stage at him, right? He had the image. He had the charisma. Remember, like like these type of videos that he was doing. He was damn near. He turned into a movie star, right? But he was kind of combining that acting element as well within his videos and his presentation and his music. And I just like the fact that he was able to cover the respect in multiple areas: the women, the purists, the hip hop, the entertainment side, videos, everything. He was selling, he was moving. This guy, and he was able to do musics of all forms, right? He was able to do the I need love type of shit and rap to the women and come out with what some people may say, love songs and softer music, and then come back with some bad shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really get on some hardcore shit. He was able to cross back and forth, and then even when he was outside of his heyday and outside of his era, he still stepped right back to the forefront by beating the shit out of who we thought was one of our new era kings, Cannabis. When Cannabis came on the scene, you couldn't tell us nothing about Cannabis. We was listening to Cannabis and it was like next level lyricism. We put Cannabis before his album dropped, we put him in the front. We said, no, sir, this guy is incredible. And when we heard of a beef brewing between LL Cool J, who was considered an old school guy, and then this new era Cannabis, we thought LL Cool J was just signing his own death certificate. LL Cool J beat the shit and ended the career of who we thought was going to be like the next person to just run hip hop. Think about it. He ruined Cannabis's career before his first album even dropped, right? LL, he had an undisputed run where he wore the crown. Give it to that man. Okay. Who's next? Okay. I'm not going to do this. This might be the only time. Is this the only time on this list where I'm doing this? I have to bring two people up here at the same time. And when I say that, some of y'all might be able to guess where I'm about to go. I think they deserve to be brought into this fold as kings for undisputed time period that they were looked at to wear the crown. Undisputed. Now, some people may argue that and say, how is it undisputed if we felt like it was shared to a degree? When I bring the picture up here, hopefully I understand. Big and Pop. They wore the crown, man. And you don't even have to say exactly at the same time, but I think there was a time where we can undisputedly say the king of hip hop right now is Biggie. The way he came on the scene with Juicy and the way Puff was really managing and steering his career with them. Like I know Puff is in the shitter right now. He's ruining his legacy as we speak. But do we get Biggie without Puff? He helped put this man in a position where this man wore the crown. For lack of better word, I mean, I shouldn't say for lack of better words. If for nothing else, if you feel that Biggie didn't wear the undisputed crown, he definitely at least wore it for the coast. And that was a big time in hip hop because it really was like all eyes on either East Coast or West Coast, the legendary beef. And who represented at the top the East Coast? Biggie. But I'd give him, just overall undisputed for a moment too. I think it was very, very short-lived. I think he's one of the more shorter-lived kings on this entire list of the whole 12. But I think there's a moment where you could say Big Ward. Now, Pac, I think Pac probably had a time span of wearing the crown that was even more cemented than Big's. And I'm a New Yorker. I'm keeping it 1,000. Pac's wave and his impact, it was stronger than Big's. Pac had the opportunity to get into movies. Pac was somebody that was looked at for more than rap. Damn near civil rights movement type of advocate at times. That's why they, try to get at him about contradictory sometimes because of the law shit. I mean, the legal shit that he was catching, whether it be with women or blah, blah, this. And we're not here for that. But, his music had a message, and then he came out damn near like on front lines of social issues. You don't see that from a lot of people. I hate to jump outside of rap for a second, but one of our sports goats is like Michael Jordan. What's one of the things we don't really like about Mike, one of our goats, is that we didn't see him really jump out there on the front lines for social issues. We didn't really see him support hip hop like that. Like it just never really settled for us when it comes to Jordan. Pac, movies, music, album sales, representing the coast, leading a war, a hip hop war. You know what I'm saying? Being an activist. He wore the crown. So I think Biggie's probably was the most short-lived crown run. And if we're gonna say that Big wore the crown for a second, Pac wore it for a couple seconds too. Then, you know what I'm saying? So one thing that Big definitely got over Pac, and I ain't trying to stir up no East and West shit. Shout out to the West. You know y'all are on here, West. I got y'all. But the Notorious movie is light years ahead of the Pac movie. They fucking ruined that Pac movie. But anyway, let's move along. So Big and Pac, I feel like they wore the crown for a second. Okay. So right at that point, we said of our 12, Rakim wore the crown, LL Cool J wore the crown, Big and Pac wore the crown. Who's next? Who's the next person that we know undisputedly for a time, whether a long period of time or for a short period of time, wore the hip hop crown? Who else? Who else put it on? Who else wore it? It's like Marlo, right? Remember Marlo's like, yo, the point is that they wore it. Like whether it was long lived or short lived. And this person right here, I feel like it wasn't short lived at all. Yeah. Stop playing. Stop playing. It's not a king list without this man. And spoiler alert, I probably was gonna save until the end of me saying this. If I take all of the GOAT, all 12 of them, and I have to choose one, this is my choice right here. Jay-Z. Not only does a man cover every base, the man has invented new bases, right? One of the most influential, if not the most influential rapper of all time. I had a separate channel years and years and years ago called, like, I think ARP Blogspot or something like that. And I did a blog about, I think it's probably still on YouTube, like 10 things or 5 things Jay-Z made you stop doing. And I'll just freestyle some off my memory. Like, you know, he made us stop wearing jerseys and say, you know, change clothes and go and put on the button ups. He made us stop wearing or buying spinning rims. Go standard. Go plain Jane on your cars. These are foreign luxury cars. They're not meant to have these bullshit ass cheesy chrome rim custom rims put on them that are falling, messing up the suspension in the cars. And he made us stop that shit. He damn near brought death to auto-tune. Remember? I know T-Pain was mad as shit at him. As a matter of fact, I was at the show and T-Pain walked out on stage the same way Little Mama did when he was doing DOA, Death of Auto-Tune. He did that. He got us drinking certain liquors, Ace of Spade and Cristal and champagne from Imaginary Players and all that. Like, he kind of pushed champagne to the point where these liquor companies wasn't getting in line. He said, okay, I'm going to fuck your numbers up and start my own shit. And he did. 4040 Sports Club, Sports Agent Management, record label, Rockefeller. What else did he make us start doing? He made us act like the Range Rover 4.0 wasn't popping. It's the difference between 4.0 and a 4.6. 30 to 40 grand, cocksucker, beat it. It made us dislike a luxury car of the 4.0. I was a little kid. I probably didn't have my license yet, and I was dissing a 4.0. I'm now nowhere near in a position to diss a 4.0, but Jay had his influence on all of these different aspects. And I haven't even spoke about the albums and the music yet. Just his influence is just stupid. But his albums, his influence, every flow, every type of song, every type of hit had a wave of just crushing features, had a wave of picking on people with features. After the show, it's the after part. It's probably crit, and after the original is probably this. Is that not like a shot at Jada Kiss and whatnot? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was battle tested. We watched Jay-Z get in some of those wars. He recorded with the greats. I don't like to bring the numbers in all the times, but the numbers are there. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, when we talk about like Drake, because people were saying that Drake started to surpass Jay-Z from a crown and a king of music thing. And I think Drake at times was even trying to take shots at Jay, maybe bait him into it a little bit when he realized the spot that he was in. And Jay-Z never fell into it because I think Jay-Z started to veer out of music a little bit. I think even this recent stuff that is happening with Drake just further propels Jay-Z into the all-time GOAT, because Jay-Z is never ever gonna go through what Drake has just gone through and will continue to go through. Drake's image, his legacy is altered forever. Jay is Jay, man, and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of cons that people will put on Jay. None of these people that we're gonna name is perfect, but this is not only a clear person that has wore the crown, but I have him as the top crown wearer, and he's still doing mega shit. Shit, I didn't even mention his wife. You should be able to wear the crown just for that. You know what I'm saying? What more can I say? All pun intended. The man, shit, some people might say, fuck that. Drake, get out of here. We still got the crown overall on Jay. Some people could justify that argument. You know what I'm saying? Why not? But yeah, the King Jay-Z, man. Okay, who's next up? Who's next up as a crown wearer? This man right here absolutely wore the crown for a good moment. You know what I'm saying? I think he could have wore the crown for much, much longer, but it's almost like the Jordan effect. You got all these people in the league that should have won championships. The Charles Barkleys, the Reggie Millers, the New York Knicks at a time when they had their Patrick Ewing and John Starks and everybody. And, it's just Jordan stood in so many people's way for them to get to that last, you know what I'm saying? I think this is what this man did. Like, Jordan had to step away for a second, for Olajuwon to get his. One of the greatest players of all time. That's not the case here, though. Even though this man probably stopped the person I'm about to bring up from having that much longer of a run with the crown on his head, he didn't have to wait for Jay to leave to wear it for the time that he wore it. He took it. He took it. He took it. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 1,000. He took it. All right. Nas. How long of a debate was it where it was like, who's the best MCs? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. How long of a debate was it for Nas and Jay-Z? Nas is more lyrical. Nas is more this. Jay-Z probably took this or took this style from Jaz-O or blah, blah, blah from Nas and blah, blah. And then then there's the Jay-Z side. Nas don't have albums like Jay-Z, or he doesn't have hits like Jay-Z, or he doesn't have the reach or the sales like Jay-Z, or as much of an influence as Jay-Z, so forth and so on. You could always make the argument, as we was in all them barbershops ready to kill each other behind the Nas and Jay-Z debate. But regardless if you was a Jay-Z advocate, it didn't matter, because once they battled, somebody walked away with the crown. So whether you thought Nas had it before or not, he definitely took it at the point when Ether dropped. This man wore the crown. And then he even had a time where he was steering hip hop. He was telling us what was going on. And we were saying, if this is what Nas is saying, this is what we feel. Like when he came out with like the Hip Hop Is Dead album and all that, we was like looking at hip hop like, yeah, you know what, it is down right now. Auto-tune this and that or whatever. Like he pretty much even had a moment where you could say he saved hip hop, because in every industry of entertainment takes his dips. Hollywood, the pop culture, R&B, dance hall, Caribbean, hip hop, every industry and genre of music has its dips and its lows. Stillmatic pick shit back up. And some people feel like, yo, he had the crown when Illmatic dropped, because they just felt like the same way I could say about Rakim in his era. Like when he started rapping, people were like, this is different. Nas did the same thing when Illmatic dropped. He did this. He did the same shit. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I'm just gonna throw this out here real quick for my hip hop heads. It was written as a better album than Illmatic. Yeah, I said it. Argue with me in the chat or argue with me in the comments. I don't care. It was written as a better hip hop album than Illmatic. But anyway, some people feel that, when that album dropped, he had the crown then, simply because of how next level Illmatic just felt and how it hit. So once again, we could debate the pre-ether as much as we want. That's why it was always Jay. I think that's even a reason why Jay-Z was taking so many shots at Nas, because he recognized the fact that even if I feel like I'm in the seat, this guy just keeps, he keeps trying to sit next to me, or he's right there. And that's what happens a lot. Like one person realizes, like, even if I feel I'm number one, this guy is like, he's nudging for the spot too much. And that's where you get like URL and RBE shit. Like, I can't make this shit up. This is really how the world turns. You know what I'm saying? When people are in these spots or whatever, like, they're going to have issues or take shots or do things towards the person. And Jay-Z took way more shots at Nas than Nas was taking at Jay-Z, even though Nas was being considered, probably by consensus, as underneath Jay. How ironic. That's really how the world turns. That's really how this shit goes when people are volleying for position or to keep position, right? I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked when I was at Summer Jam and Takeover dropped and he officially went at Nas. I think that Jay was just waiting for his opportunity to just tactically be like, I need to just solidify this top spot. Like, Nas, we're not going to do this no more. Just nobody saw Ether coming. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to this man, Nas, one of our greats, one of our GOATs. And everybody that I've named so far, I could say so much more about. I could turn this into a 5-hour live, but I hope I'm just hitting some key points for y'all and just drawing us down memory lane a little bit to where we could say, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why I want to do this live. And I'm going to get to the chat and I'm going to get to the supers and I'm going to get to the members. I got y'all. But all right, who's next up? So we had Rakim, we had LL Cool J, we had Big and Pac simultaneously or around the same time period. We had Jay-Z, we had Nas. So I just went through, of the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're halfway through. Who do I have next? Somebody that I feel wore the crown, wore the hip hop crown. I did the intro for this too, in case anybody joined this stream late. I said undisputed is my classification. Undisputed. Who's next? Fuck with the chat. I fuck with y'all. Checks and balances, hip hop heads, Rare Breed Entertainment channel subscribers, and the Sorry is True podcast listeners. I fuck with y'all. I really, really fuck with y'all because I've seen a bunch of people that got it dead on of who I'm jumping to next. And once again, I don't remember if my order is perfect. But y'all got it. Don't act like this man ain't had a fucking crown. What? Undisputed. It's dark and hell is hot. Get at me, dogs. It's over. This is the song right here. Get at me, dogs. There's nothing else we want to listen to right now. And he had so much more. Like, I forget the time span of how long it was before It's Dark and Hell is Hot for then Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood to come out. It was like 24 hours. The next album was out. Here he was again, selling a shitload of records and just dominating the world. Like this man DMX was on fire. Even his shit on the Rough Riders anthems, or albums. This man has anthems. He has classic albums. He has hits. He has dominance. Some people could say he also steered hip hop back once again to go hardcore. While y'all are out here doing all this flossing and whatnot and this and that and the bling and all that, boom, 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 boom. Let me go to the junkyard with the pit bulls on the chains and all that real quick. Like, what? Like this man was gritty. He was gutter. He wasn't even like one of the top 10 lyricists of all time. But the way he put his shit together and his style made him so much of a standout. And then he had this thing to him that just made him, I guess, a little mysterious. Like Mike Tyson has it, right? Where you're just like, yo, this guy's like different. He's very unique. You listen to him talk, you listen to him do an interview, like it's not even sure. It's like, is that his real voice? Like, was he born with like canine DNA? Like, we're not sure. Like, X was so different, B, on multiple levels, man. Multiple levels. And I guess I could throw in a honorable mention at this time as well, because Ja Rule was very impactful for a period of time. Sorry, it's true. Like him or dislike him. And X was another person now I think was in Ja Rule's way. And Ja Rule still became successful getting more to the, the melody side of things and doing more R&B based, music, singing based, rapping and all that. But even before 50 Cent, Ja Rule was hurt by X. Ja Rule was gonna have a ceiling no matter what because X was there. Because of the scruffy voice delivery and all that and the similarities and from that standpoint. But X wore the fucking crown. And he was the leader and he was at the forefront of the Rough Riders movement. You're talking about Drag On and Eve and X and the Locks. Oh shit, I almost forgot that the Locks was Rough Riders. Oh my god. Yo, like think about it. The Locks is the Locks. The Locks is they're timeless. They are goats. And X was their leader. Jada Kiss was not in the driver's seat in that era. X was in front of the Jada Kisses of the world. Oh shit. Let's be real. Let's be real. Who else was on the Rough Riders? I remember some of the smaller names like Infrared and all that. Some of them had some classic verses. Shit, don't get me to fucking singing them shits right now. But yo, like the Rough Riders was led. Like he was at the forefront of that, and he was probably the lead reason why that team, that movement, and that record label was so strong. Of course, Swizz there too is epic, but damn, he wore the crown. He was undisputed for a strong time period, and he will forever be one of our mega hip hop legends. Rest in peace to the great DMX. He had that shit crowned securely. You know what I'm saying? For a nice time period. All right. Who's next up? Who else wore the crown? Remember, I told you I got 12 people that I feel wore the crown undisputedly during the course of hip hop. Who's next? I don't remember the time period once again. Was he before? Was he after? Whatever. But damn. I want somebody to try to act. Don't even disrespect this stream. This man was the king for a time period. This man wore the crown. Play if you want. Play if you want. Play if you want. The back with this bag, the zigzags in the bag of this weed that gives me the shit needed to be the most meanest MC on this earth. And she's birthed by curse, this curse that just cursed and splurt, berserk, bizarre shit worked and it sells and it what? Yo, I can argue easily that of all the kings, he's the best rapper. Word for word, syllable for syllable, bar for bar. He has a lot of versatility too. This man, could get on track and give you like a story. Stan put us in a movie theater when you listen to it. the real Slim Shady and all that, made you laugh and be like, yo, what this comical he's crazy. He had songs that was deep. He had beef songs, went back and forth with a lot of people. He's battle tested. Man, uh, we don't got once again. I don't like to do the numbers thing in classifications like this, but we're not going to do that, are we? Nobody's going to talk about numbers, right? With Eminem, we're not going to do that. When the Slim Shady LP dropped, that album is just stupid. Um, and his lead single took over hip hop. I remember the first time hearing his lead single. I didn't even see him yet. I didn't know who he was, what he looked like. I didn't know he was black, white. I didn't know. I just thought it was different. I thought it was kind of funny, creative. And then I was like, oh, it's a white guy. Okay, cool. And his album dropped, and I heard the songs and the lyricism and his ability because I wasn't familiar with him before his album dropped. Obviously, he had like a big buzz locally in Detroit and whatnot, and probably even in the Midwest. I'd never heard of Eminem until his first lead single dropped from the Slim Shady LP. I didn't, but from that point, for me, it was up. I was like, this guy is incredible, and I know his catalog is deep. But by the time we got to his second album, he was just dangling the crown. The Marshall Mathers LP is just like Eminem. It's him. He got it. It belongs to that guy. Eminem is just. We could say so much about this man, and I think I might be somebody that has always kept in the back of their mind. I've always appreciated how he carried himself. Now, I know he had a lot of goofy stuff that he did to be entertaining, to be calculated, to be slick. Um, going at people like, let's say, a Britney Spears or the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, or you know what I'm saying? Like he did the comedic side of things, even the Mariah Carey shit. But I just like that he kind of stayed true to himself. Even the joint that just dropped, like a couple weeks ago, he just stays true to himself. He didn't blow up and become this multi-platinum selling artist and then, start dressing with a bunch of designer clothes and, putting on monster diamond jewelry and all that. You catch him, by the time he was probably 10 million album sales in, catch him in a Nike shirt and a Nike hat. Like, he just always stayed true to, from a music standpoint, from an image standpoint, from a who he is standpoint, just always stayed true to it. Even to now. Is he in his 50s now? Well, late 40s? He's still the same person. Still, he just comes across as the same person. And I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for that. It's so easy to say, like, you can argue him as the best rapper of all time. That's the easy thing to do for hip hop heads. But I think the other side of how he moved and navigated his career, I don't think gets enough credit. There's a reason why 50 Cent, anytime he gets a chance, whether he's getting a star on the Hollywood strip or whether he's, doing something mega in his life, why he wants to bring about and shout out Eminem and Dr. Dre. Eminem has just had this colossal run and then said, I'm not done. Let me go ahead and partner up with Dr. Dre and bring you 50 Cent and G Unit, which was one of the biggest hip hop movements in hip hop history. Eminem, he gave us D12. Fight Music is still one of my favorite songs from that group. You know what I'm saying? M's verse on Fight Music. I mean, I could do a whole video on Eminem alone, but I'm just going to try to stick to this here and say, undisputedly for a time, for the crown. Clearly. Shout out to Eminem. Okay, who's next? Quick recap. So we had Rakim being the first crown wearer. Next one, LL Cool J. The third one, we put 3 and 4 together, Big and Pac, right? Jay wore it, Nas wore it, DMX wore it, Eminem wore it. All the people that we just said wore the crown undisputedly. Who's next on this list that I'm bringing out of people that I'm saying, yeah, they wore it, cut it out. They wore the crown. Who's next? Let me look at the chat real quick. Who am I gonna bring? Who am I gonna bring up next? Somebody that wore the crown. I love that there's so many hip hop heads in on this channel. I love it. I really, really love it. I really, really love it. And I'm looking in the chat and I see some people where you're like, yo, what about this person? You got to hang around for the subtopic I'm going to do at the end. There's a twist that I got on honorable mentions. Okay. There's a twist. So hang around for that, y'all. I see some of the people y'all put in the chat. Hang around. I got y'all. But let's stay with the actual undisputed kings that wore the crown. This is a man who, like I told you, of my overall 12 crown wearers, I take Jay-Z. Jay-Z himself remember that interview? He admitted himself. He said he got in the office with the Rockefeller team and said, listen, everybody, this 50 cent wave is about to come. So we either got to get our shit off now or be prepared to wait this fucking tsunami out. That's what 50 Cent was. Went Diamond, right? His first album, Went Diamond, right? This is the only album that I went to the store to get, and I took orders from friends. You know how like you might be going to the store and you ask your people like you need anything? Yeah, I'm going to the store, man. You want something? Right? This is the only I have y'all. Some of y'all have seen my CD collection. Some of y'all have seen pieces of my CD library. My CD library is massive. I collect CDs. I've been doing it since a kid. I have the best CD music library that I've ever seen in person. I've never seen anybody else with all right? This is the only album that I've ever bought where I took orders from my friends and people that I was around. Yo, I know this spot in Pathmark Majors. Shout out to my Staten Island niggas that know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the Hubs brothers. Shout out to everybody who knows what I'm talking about. All right. I'm about to go to Majors. Everybody knows they got the albums and they let them go early. Right? You know, you walk up in there, your Hubs got me. Yo, got you on the side. Right? I'm about to go get the 50 Cent album. It's going to be on shelves by the time the stores open up for about 0.2 seconds. Does anybody want one? And I feel like at least 15 people, whether they gave me the money or they said, yo, get it for me and I'll reimburse you, was like, yo, pick me up one of them. That's the only time that's ever happened in my life, despite me having thousands of fucking CDs. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even have to start here. I can go back to just the mixtape wave. Like whether he was on a unique beat or whether he was taking somebody's shit, he used to say that. I'm going to take your shit. I'm going to remix it. I'm going to do it better. He was hurting official releases. Motherfuckers was coming out with album cuts. He would take your beat, redo it on a mixtape. And the record labels was pissed at him because his movement was so crazy. It was just like, he just stole our song. He's that big right now. The G Unit series. Yeah, one that was red, white, and blue. You had the white and the green one. And he was so powerful. His team could do no wrong. Like he led and cleared the path for Lloyd Banks to be one of the top people talked about. Tony Yayo was never a good rapper like that. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent, we gonna hear out Tony Yayo. Yeah, he brought in Game. He brought in Young Buck. A lot of people still, hey, the documentary, which is a timeless hip hop classic, kind of concocted by 50 Cent. I'm trying to say shit outside of the album that I have on the screen, which just shut down the world. It's like every song, like how many hit records is on his joint on this album? You might play an album and be like, yo, this song is popping, you know, the lead single is popping. It got 3 joints, a couple skippable tracks. He's got like In the Club. Oh my God. in the club. Just think about it, how massive it is. Go Shorty, It's Your Birthday became the new, or at that point, it took on the new birthday anthem for like if you was like in a club cell or what, it became a birthday thing too for years to come. But in the club, remember how massive that single was? Then of course you got your shit like Magic Stick and Many Men, and he covered every base on this album. He had a weed song and he don't even smoke, right? Didn't he have a weed song on it? And once again, I could get off of the album, and you got his mixtapes. And remember how controversial Ghetto Quran was. And I think I need to bring 50 Cent into a point that I made earlier about LL Cool J. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of guys that we've mentioned so far have had good images. I said LL was the first to have like the women, the hardcore rap purists, the gangsters, everybody was behind him, and his image. He could act, he could rap, he could do videos, he was charismatic. He had the image to complement the artistry and the talent. LL Cool J was the first to do that to me. Fast forward, when you really talk about how much somebody's image was a part of their success and being groundbreaking, 50 Cent. Of course, the Jay-Z's of the world and whatnot, they had a big image, and it was super influential for those reasons, their image. But 50 Cent, it's not the type of image that we're talking about for Jay-Z or that we're talking about for LL Cool J. It was an image of realness. Why? Because everybody knew he was living the shit that he rapped about. Hence the fucking name of the album, Get Rich or Die Trying. We felt at any moment he really might die on this promo run. He was showing up to concerts and everybody wearing bulletproof vests, and we didn't even feel like it was just part of like the stage outfit or costume. We felt like, yo, they're all running around with bulletproof vests because they're all at war right now. You know what I'm saying? Like with the pre-team and all that history of the Ghetto Quran song and all the drama, and him getting shot 9 times and coming out and mocking the people that shot him. And then he had a documentary or video DVD included with his album. And it's just like, yo, this is the realest nigga ever. Remember the DVD that came with his album, and he pulled up on like his grandfather or whatever. He's like, yo, Pops, remember the cops was chasing me through here, whatever. This grandfather, old ass man close. I'm like, yeah, I remember the detective rolled up on me. I told him, suck my or whatever. I'm like, damn, this nigga 50 is really, really active. People like Bang'em Smurf coming out. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, if you sold drugs in that area, that work was coming through 50. That was his work on the block. And his movie. His movie is tough. People compare 8 Mile and Get Rich or Die Trying, the movie. Get Rich or Die Trying, I take Get Rich or Die Trying, maybe. It might be for me the best hip hop. Is it the best hip hop movie? I take it over Notorious. I take it over 8 Mile. The NWA movie was tough. Wait, I don't know. But I don't want to get out of, you know what I'm saying? There's too much history you could be doing in lives like this. But jeez. Get Rich or Die Trying, his mixtape movement, his impact, his ability to have such a heavy light on other people that was in his circle. And of course, the historic destruction of one of the biggest rappers of all time at that time, a real selling artist, Ja Rule. Like, that's like a saying. People be like, yo, don't get Ja ruled. It's crazy. You have this mega star, Ja Rule. He was a mega star. And 50 Cent ruined him. Like, mega, man. He wore the crown. He fucking wore the crown. And it's so dope, fast forward, to see all his transitions into business and TV and all that. Because a lot of these people didn't make a bulk of their money from music. Jay-Z and Diddy and 50. The big money that they've made didn't come from music. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see titans like this have those type of transitions. The man stayed on his grind. True workhorse, man. Man, one of our titans, one of our moguls, one of our goats. The man wore the crown undisputedly for a second. Whereas even the Jay-Z's of the world was like, yo, we got to get out the way. Who's next, y'all? Who y'all think is next? What y'all think is next? I feel like the next one is easy based on who we've done so far. I feel like the next one is easy. I feel like the next one was easy. You know, if y'all didn't see him yet, it's got to be easy to y'all. Who I'm pulling up next? Yo, somebody in the chat put Soldier Boy is next. Yeah, I see it. I see one of my mods catching it correctly. Yeah, the next person, if he hasn't come up yet, he wore the crown. Stop it. Stop it. Now, here's a question. When Lil Wayne put the crown on, and when it was undisputedly his, was it because of his albums at that moment in time? Was it because his mixtapes? Or was it because of both? Because the Carter albums were crazy. He's got singles that I'm not gonna let y'all front on them. Like, you're not gonna front on Fireman. I was not big on Fireman. It was a huge single. Lollipop, mega song. Love it or not, mega. I don't go. Listen, all of us was rapping Lollipop when it was out. None of y'all are too cool or too tough to act. Stop it. Sorry, it's true. We are honest on this channel, okay? But there was a time where we felt the Jay-Z and the Lil Wayne clashing, right? Wasn't it like Jay-Z wanted Lil Wayne on his team to sign him, whatever, and then Lil Wayne ended up staying with Birdman, and then they ended up taking shots at each other and all that. Keep it real. You got baby money and all that. Like, Jay-Z was sending his shots that way. Lil Wayne was sending his shots back. You know, he kind of showed like a moment of loyalty, right? Throughout all of that, which is kind of dope. And I think in return, him not going with Jay, because when you go with Jay at that time, you become under Jay. The perception of you and your legacy becomes under Jay, right? Him standing and staying where he was, you know, allowed him to then compete with Jay, right? His mixtapes, the Drought series and the shit that he did with DJ Trauma. I think of all the crown wearers, nobody has put out more verses than Lil Wayne. Now, of all the people that we've went through so far, of the 12 crown wearers, there are people that we feel like has things that they've done over the next crown wearer or better than the other crown wearer, right? Jay-Z may have been the most influential. We spoke about some of that, right? 50 may have been the realest that we felt, right? Like, people, LL might have been the first that had the image side of things. Eminem might be the best rapper of all the crown wearers. Lil Wayne gave us the most music, gave us the most verses. The definition of living in the studio. If I go right now to my CD collection and I pull out the Slim Jewel cases of my Lil Wayne collection, it's probably longer than my arms could stretch. That many jewel cases in between my arms like this of how many Lil Wayne CDs. And I know I don't have all his shit. How was we even keeping up with the amount of content and music that Lil Wayne was putting out? I don't even know how we kept up. I don't know how he kept up with himself. Flooded the streets. And it wasn't just, you know, quantity. No, it's quality. Quality with all the quantity. I don't know if we'll ever see somebody be able to do what Lil Wayne did. And I'm not just talking about on the album side, because his songs and his hits and his albums and his numbers, they're all up there. But when it comes to just say, you know what, I'm going to take this time period right now and I'm going to show you work. Nobody did that better than Lil Wayne. Nobody. He wore the crown. He is one of the best of all time. And I know I mentioned people like, you know, 50 bringing into his circle the Tony Yayos and the Lloyd Bankses and the Young Bucks and the Games, et cetera, et cetera. And we could say Jay-Z and his movement and people that he is attached to. Young Money. Is there a Drake or a Nicki Minaj without Lil Wayne? I don't know. Right? Lil Wayne, um, he's another one of those guys that can have a 5-hour video to himself. He wore the crown. Clear. All right. Quick recap. I got how many left? I got 2 left. I think those are going to be clear. So quick recap. Rakim, LL Cool J, Big and Pac, Jay-Z, Nas, DMX, M, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne. Once again, people that undisputedly wore the crown. And I see comments in there. And I know that as we get these last 2 off, y'all gonna say that, yo, wait, this person is missing, this person is missing. Stay to the end when I get into my subtopic, okay? Stay to the end. The next undisputed crown wearer, rounding out my 12. And come on, people, like I know what's going on outside right now. So there's an energy where people's gonna be like, fuck him. But we gotta be real. Drake. Stop, people. Stop. You know, when we on this channel over here, you know, we can take our shots, we can have our fun, we can do our recaps, we can do our reactions and all that. But this is the Sorry is True podcast. Like Kendrick beating the shit out of this guy and changing his career and his trajectory or his legacy forever, and the way we look at Drake forever, does not erase what he has done. And it does not erase the fact that he undisputedly wore the crown as well. He did. He did. He got great albums. My introduction to him was probably similar to most people, So Far Gone. It's a classic, right? And then after that, his run of hits. So I don't think it has to be an opinion. It's fact, right? Because now he's at the point where like it's either one more, whatever, and then he's like tied or surpasses Michael Jackson, right? Was that Billboard hits or something like that? So once again, all these people that have wore the crown, they have their accolades. Some that other people have similar accolades, but some of them that is just like, no, this is an accolade that only I have, right? Drake, I think, is the top hit maker, right? I think from a numbers standpoint, I think he has that on his jacket, right? Right. So I mean, we not gonna act like, you know, after we talked about this earlier, there was a time where it was like there was like the Drake and Jay-Z thing a little bit. And I think that Jay-Z was kind of veering away at a time where he didn't have to fight this man one on one. But I think even Drake got to a point where he realized, like, yo, I think I'm in the chair. There was some subs there. And then they went over and did songs together. What was that? Pound Cake or whatever. I think that was kind of like really leveling everything out. We're good. Two kings can come together and do music together, right? But before that, it was there. The Drake and the Jay thing was going on. Drake has had a run that's been double-digit years. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Let's take out current events for a second. Drake wore the crown. Okay? Drake wore the fucking crown. There's a reason why he was the golden child. Everything that he touches goes. Feature goes. I do a tour, gone. Album drops, gone. New hit on the billboards, gone. You know what I'm saying? And the man's got an incredible catalog. He's given us hits. Hits, man. Hits. So he undisputedly and undeniably has wore the crown of the 12 kings. All right. And I'm going to take Drake down before y'all start to troll me, because I just feel like what he's going through right now has people so anti-Drake, and rightfully so. He's been altered forever. But Sorry is True. He put the crown on. He deserves to be on this 12 people that have wore the crown. Sorry is True. It's real. And it just is what it is. Who's the 12th person to wear the crown? It's not clear at this point. Who's the last person to wear the crown? Similar to what I said with the Jay-Z and Nas thing, right? Similar to that, where Jay-Z was kind of the leader, but the Nas, that little thing had us always arguing over it. For a time, even though Drake, I think, had moments where he was undisputedly the king, still fast forward to more recent current times, it started to feel like a little bit of a question. Things for Drake slid into the gray a little bit, slid into the gray a little bit. By the time Kendrick started, coming with his hits and his accolades, his awards, his numbers, his movement, his stamp of what he means, it got a little gray towards the last year or so, right? That's where the whole big three comes in. Is it Drake? Is it Kendrick? Is it Cole? Even Drake himself said in that barbershop shit with LeBron, he's like, I'm interested to see how when we turn the millennium, whatever, how all three of us will fare. Because all three of them were having a little gray there moment of who is it? Which one? Drake, he undisputedly had it, but then you started having people that's just right there and just, nah, hold on, I'm taking it for a second. And that's what happens when you start to lose leverage of the crown, because there's migrations. It's not always like a dead moment where the crown just shifts. That's what happened with Nas and Jay-Z. Jay-Z was the leader, but the debate was valid, right? When Ether drops, it was a moment, boom, it goes from here to there. That's it. J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake have had a time where it's like the transition isn't seamless. It's a time where Drake is wearing it on his own, but there's people that just snatch it off for a day and be like, nah, I'm walking around with it right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hope what I'm saying is making sense to you, because like I'm saying, everything is not always just boom, right? The crown just went there. Sometimes it's transitions and little bumps in the road of like, oh, wait, he snatched it back or whatever. But the key word I'm going to stay with is undisputed. And that's why I said earlier, J. Cole to me has never wore the crown undisputedly. Drake has. And now, post the battle between Drake and Kendrick, there was a time where we were arguing the big three, but post Kendrick doing what he just did, he is now undisputedly taken the crown. And currently, that's where the hip hop crown resides, with Kendrick Lamar. Okay? So his movement right now, his energy right now, this addition to his legacy of dethroning a king, killing a king, altering a king's legacy, tarnishing a king forever. I've never seen a king hurt this bad before. We could say Nas hurt Jay-Z, but not like this. We could say Jay-Z hurt Nas, but not like this. We could say kings, we've seen our kings go through shit, right? But not like this. Not like this. This is crazy. So this is all bolstered to some of Kendrick's legacy. And his legacy and his catalog and his albums and his music and his impact and his awards was already stamped in the books. He's already an all-time GOAT, all-time great, arguable king. And then this is just a whole nother layer to his legacy. It's just so undeniable. It's just, wow. I think years to come, this moment that Kendrick and Drake have created, and Kendrick coming out the way that he did and strategically winning this battle the way that he did, and even now what people are saying is the victory lap slash Drake's funeral. That concert is becoming such a hip hop moment that's going to age. Like it's not that frequent that we talk about concerts when we talk about people's legacies. We'll talk about their albums. We'll talk about their numbers. We'll talk about their songs. We'll talk about their mixtapes. We'll talk about their movements, the people that they brought on with them, the people that they're responsible for turning to stars as well. We talk about stuff like that. We rarely will talk about, like their concerts. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this person's legacy. Remember, he's the one that did, this legacy, the Rock the Mic tour, or backstage tour. Like, I remember some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, or this show. Like Kanye's got some epic shows, that's going to be remembered. and tours. You know, Jay-Z and the backstage and all that with, all those other people. That's a mega tour. The West Coast had one, right? Was the smoke something tour. Like those are things that just become a marker, but it's rare. We don't speak about those a lot, right? This concert, this show that Kendrick just did, I'm gonna talk about it forever as a moment in hip hop history. The man wore the crown. The man has the crown right now. It is what it is, and it's even getting more and more solidified. It's bad for Drake, but damn, that's like yeah, some people that like grab the crown, some people snatch the crown, some people inherited the crown, right? The transition from person to person happened for different reasons, and once again, sometimes it was instantaneous, and other times it was like it took a little moment. This was a beheading, right? Like Kendrick chopped off Drake's head that was still attached to the crown. Like I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna leave that right now. I'm gonna come back with another live maybe tomorrow. A little interesting topic about Kendrick and Drake that I want to put a spin on. But okay, I want to jump to this subtopic now because I seen y'all comments, and like I said, I'm still gonna get to the supers and some of the members and all that. I'm gonna get to the chat more. I know that there's people that weren't named, and I saw some of y'all mention these people in chat. Remember, this top 12 that I just did, my classification is that they undisputedly wore the crown. So whether it was a short-lived moment or a long time period, they were clearly the consensus of hip hop wearing the crown. That is not to be confused with people that were running rap and they were really, really on fire, right? Because we have some of these other people that some of y'all were putting in the chat when they were on fire and it felt like, yo, they got it right now. The light is on them right now. They running rap right now. It wasn't undisputedly the king, though. Okay. I want to name some of those people and hopefully y'all get my point. Drop a comment either in the chat or down below if you missed this live and let me know whether you agree or disagree. That's why I'm making a separation. Kanye West. Okay. I don't feel like he ever undisputedly wore the crown because at his peaks, there were other kings still there. I don't think he ever 100% had it. Like he was that nigga for a time. But of this list that I'm about to say, he might be one of the closest people where I think people are going to debate the point that I'm making right now. And I'm not mad at it. I just didn't think that of the 12 people that I feel officially undisputedly wore the crown, I just didn't feel like Kanye had that last little step where it's like undisputedly his. As a hit maker, an album maker, and a song creator, like, yeah, he had it, but I just don't give him the full, I don't know, undisputed now. So, let's keep going. Snoop. Snoop is one of those guys as well. I'm naming GOATs. I'm naming legends. I'm naming Hall of Famers. I don't mean, this is not the type of list that means disrespect, right? I hope people still realize I'm giving so much credit to these people. I just had to feel like there's a difference. Snoop was that nigga for a time, but I don't think he undisputedly ever had the crown by himself. And then that was just clear cut. That's it. Snoop is on this list though. I'm waiting for the debates to come. Nicki Minaj. And she's the first female that got named. I even want to hear y'all feedback in the comments as to, do you feel like of the 12 crown wearers, is any female supposed to come in there, right? We know the Queen Latifahs, we know the MC Lights, we know the Nicki Minaj's. You could even say Cardi B now, fast forward. I don't say Foxy Brown really because I feel like Little Kim was always ahead of her. So she was always the number 2, right? But yeah, Nicki Minaj, she I know there's a lot of short memories in videos like this and in comments like this, but Nicki Minaj had a mega, she's not at her peak right now, but a mega but I don't think she ever undisputedly wore the crown. And then you got some of the, double standard shit where, it's not easy for the WNBA to shine when you got the NBA. It's not easy for you to shine as a woman in a male dominant arena. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being honest about that. Nicki Minaj never wore the crown. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is once again the category where y'all feel like, oh, you missed this person, you missed that person. It's a different category, y'all. Jeezy, time where man, Trap or Die came out, the mixtape. Even his ad libs are timeless. He kind of popularized ad libs that much more around that time period, right? Jeezy is one of them guys. Like he really, really came on the scene and he had it. He had it, but he wasn't an undisputed king of the entire space. I don't believe that. Ti, similar to Jeezy, had a mega, mega run. Create a lot of space for himself. Put on for the South heavy. But at the time where there's TIs, you still got Jay-Z's and all these other people, Little Waynes and whatnot running around. So I don't think he ever had it undisputed. I'm open to the debate in the comments below. The Woo. The reason why I got the Woo on here is because I feel like lists like this are more dedicated to individuals, right? But I did not want to leave out groups that had it. Right. I'm not saying that they undisputedly wore the crown because I feel like a crown is an individual moment. But as far as like running rap in this category that I'm going through right now, you better not leave the Woo out. Their impact and what they did from the 36 chambers on, it's crazy. Similar now, NWA. Okay. NWA even had a movement and similar to Pac. Wow, like you West Coast motherfuckers, you guys definitely have a lot of moments where you go outside of hip hop. The civil stuff that was attached to NWA and what they had to go through their fight for their type of content. Damn near had government and whatnot against them and shit. It's just like NWA belongs in this category in this discussion. Please, people, I need y'all memories to be on point when I say this next name. Ludacris. Ludacris was mega. Probably some of that, along with his ability, his talents, his charisma, helped him transition into becoming a Hollywood star. The Fast and Furious franchise is one of the biggest movie franchises of all time, right? But what he did when he came on the scene with rap, he was gold. Everything he was touching was a hit. He was that nigga. Like you could almost argue him. His hit when the way he came on the scene, like, was it more impactful than T.I.'s? It might have been. I don't got a short memory, man. Ludacris. Speaking of groups, did y'all think I was gonna forget Cash Money and No Limit? So No Limit, they pumped out an album every other day. And Cash Money, man, their movement was you got BG and Turk and Lil Wayne and Birdman and man, they got bling in the fucking dictionary, y'all. The bling era and all that, and they had mega singles. I was lucky enough to see one of their shows at Morehouse. I think it was Morehouse's homecoming show. I was lucky enough to see Cash Money live. Oh damn! I almost didn't say Juvenile. What's wrong with me? 400 Degrees. You thought I was gonna forget that, huh? You know my memory, alright, huh? Once again, I'm fucking with y'all memories. I'm testing y'all memories. Missy Elliott. I'm testing your memory. Missy Elliott. All right. Let's keep it going. Ice Cube. Do I need to? I love to see transitions too, like what he's doing in Hollywood and music, movie production and writing and acting and the big three. Mogul, man. Mogul. It's beautiful. Beautiful. But I'm Ice Cube. Scarface. These next two guys, it's not easy for me to put them up with some of the names I already said. Because they put in so much good work. There's people that would mention. I feel like they never really equated to that though. They probably have more respect than they do the actual accolades of some of the people that I just mentioned already. And that's Jada Kiss and Fabulous. Real shit. Real shit. They have a lot of respect that they've earned and they deserve, and they put in a lot of work. Jada Kiss walks around, and a lot of people don't argue it too much. Top five that are alive. And Fab is Fab. People feel like Fab was like the second coming of Jay from a style standpoint, the way he raps, his content, like. But I just feel like they never built up that level of accolades that some of these other people that were named and did. But they deserve this mention still. Who else we got? We got MC Light, Queen Latifah. I mentioned them earlier. They deserve their mentions of like, yo, they're on the scene and they're dominating. Ice T, right? Let's not forget the past. We're not all current here. Ice T. Let's come current. Future. Future is mega, 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 mega. What else? Wow. Like some people feel like even Future could be a current king. Might sound like a weird perception, but even him, getting out of the way for Kendrick and then for Kendrick to be the one to fuck over Drake, it's just my way of like perceiving things. Like that kind of even moves Future beneath Kendrick. I don't know. I just have weird perspectives like that. Some of y'all agree, some of y'all disagree. Another person, he was golden for a second. Busta Rhymes. We're not gonna do that. Busta Rhymes, he hasn't done mega things in the music side for a long time, but we don't forget the scenarios and the woo-ha's and the hit you with another lens. What you saying, yo? Silly with the 9 milli with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While I'm in the club like we wild in the studio. You don't want to violate, baby, really and truly, yo. My man, nigga, yo, you bully, yo. Type of nigga that'll slap you with the toolie, yo. Bitch, niggas get the death at only, yo. Nah, with the throat is a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, baby, wanna get all of the booty, yo. Busta Rhymes, man. Yeah, he belongs in that. Oh wow. This next person really, 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 really just opened up the game for the women, changed the way we can perceive female rappers, sexualized and embraced that. And I could even say that this person has impacted female empowerment of their sexuality in society. Little Kim. I used to be scared of the way she embraced sexuality, like as like men. I mean, like women being able to move like men. Like you ain't fuck me, nigga. I fucked you. Like I don't want to wife you. I'm just here for the. It was like Little Kim did that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Little Kim did that. Little Kim is just she's so epic of what she did, and she will forever be one of the all-time biggest female rappers ever. And I don't even have to say female rappers, just rapper, period. You know, we got to give Little Kim a nod on this list. Who else we got? Who else we got? Lauren Hill. What? What? Some people will put The Miseducation in top 10, top 15, top 20 albums of all time. My beef with Lauren Hill though, because we don't forget the Fugees movement. The Fugees album, of course, was that the score? Was it the score? But the Fugees album is timeless and classic as well. And we don't forget what she did, within the group. But that solo album, that's like one of my only beefs with Lauren. It's like Lauren could have been something that was much longer. Like, I don't know. And we saw things about, some of her ways and the way she moved, I don't know. I don't know. It's just like we could have gotten from her level of talent and the moment that she created for herself, we could have got like 5 of those albums. I feel like I don't know. I wish there was a documentary on Lauren Hill post her album, her solo album. I really would like a more in-depth understanding, not rumors. I mean, like real in-depth breakdown of why we feel that Lauryn Hill didn't continue to just be like, you know what I'm saying? Because she had it, and it felt like she didn't want it. Was that it? Or she didn't want to continue? I don't know. I don't know. I remember I went to one of her shows, and I remember she having like that reputation of like not showing up and not performing to high standards, something like that. I went to a show that she was headlining, and she was like a couple hours late and all that shit. And those rumors were just flying around with her. It's just like, yo, does she care? Does she want to do it? Is she invested? I don't know. I just want the breakdown of how you could be that talented, be that mega, create that type of space with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album, which is ranked one of the greatest albums of all time, and just feel like you just diverted out to just like, I just don't, uh, like, what happened? What happened? But we got to give her just due. And I got one more person on this list, and I'm pretty sure that y'all could remind me of more in the comments or in the chat, but I ain't forget him. Big Pun. Yeah, baby. Big Pun. Big Pun. That in the middle of Little Italy, little did we know we riddled the middle, but who didn't know Italy? What? Like, this is Pun, man, and he put on for a whole nationality, and it's beautiful what Pun did. 2 albums, right? 2 albums, Capital Punishment and Yeah, Baby, right? Uh, wow, it almost feels like similar to Big. No, Big only had 1 album out while he was alive, right? Because his double CD came out after he had already passed away, right? Yeah, Baby came out after Pun passed away. I forget, but wow, it almost feels kind of similar to Big and Pun situations. You know what I'm saying? From an album releasing standpoint, and how much more we would have loved to get from those mega stars. And I just love Pounds, man. I'm trying to live, man. We really wish we could have gotten more Big Pun. Um, it's another guy who had image, right? Biggest, biggest rapper, I guess, to reach that level. Heaviest rapper to reach that level, and he used that for his image, but his rap ability, his fucking rap ability. Like, yeah, videos. Like, I don't do the no homo on the poor shit unless I'm really, really joking. But my mom, I'll do that once in the blue for y'all. But he was such a lyricist. There's parts of his video where the camera's just in front of his mouth with his grills, right? He's rapping his shit. I remember this. He's such a lyricist. Y'all remember that classic video where they was around the table? I think I think John Forte was there. But you got Cannabis there, you got Big Pun there, and they just going around. So I think X was there, but Big Pun, Big Pun is such a damn, damn. If everything was works out for everybody, we would just be flooded. Just imagine, Pun is still here, Pac is still here, Big is still here. Lauryn Hill never slows down. I don't know. And NWA sticks together. Like all this stuff that we lost or went left or misfortunes and all that. I know the world is the world and life is life, but damn, Big Pun makes me think about that type of shit. Like, damn, we lost one. We fucking lost one. But um I hope y'all really, really appreciate this live. I'm here for almost an hour and a half. And like I said, I could have edited this down into a 20-minute video, but I wanted to do this live with the chat. I wanted to show y'all that I got my list that I wrote down, but as far as me bringing up some of these memories or whatever, I'm such a hip hop head. I just do that off the mind, and for the sake of not being here for 4 hours, I could have stayed on each person and spoke about more. And I like to show y'all that, because I feel like real hip hop heads connect with each other. And you be like, yeah, nigga, ARP, he be on some shit. And I enjoy building with fans like that too. So as much as I could have did this into an edited video, doing it live for y'all, I feel is more fun. It's more hip hop to do it live, if that makes sense to y'all. So IDM, appreciate the super homie says IWW is better than, or it was written is better than Illmatic, but The World Is Yours is my favorite hip hop song of all time. Really? That's a dope song to have as your favorite song of all time. For me, I've done so much music, so many songs, so many mixtapes, so many albums, so much hip hop over my lifetime. It's impossible for me to choose a favorite album or a favorite song of all time. It's just impossible for me. It's just too much. I struggle with movies, let alone music. It's impossible for me. But I'm not mad at your choice. If I ruled the world, the message of it, it's a goat that delivered it. It was a smash hit. I'm not mad at your choice at all. And yeah, I'm glad that certain people, agree with me with it was written over Illmatic, because it was written, gave us what's the name of the song? Shootouts. Shootouts is similar to Wild West, broad daylight, face to face without a vest. The spectacles, peace guards, the lie that the devil sold. See, it was written but was never told. Pete the Jewels, black man, it's even better than gold. They roll with I, police roll and lava suit. But the Jake cock and shoot. Was that on? It was written. Of course, I gave you powers there, right? He has some heat type shit. Like when I say like heat, I mean the movie. Damn, where his man got shot, whatever, and they came back. There's another one, some shit that went down at the barbecue. Damn, hold on. Nah, we gonna rock. Fuck it. Hold on, we gonna rock, y'all. Nas, it was written album track list. We gonna rock. Fuck it. Let's hang out. Track list. So I gave you power, of course. Watch them niggas that be close. Oh, affirmative action was on. It was written. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought that was on the Firm album. The setup, is this it? Hold on. What was the setup? Which one was the setup? Which one was the setup, y'all? Hold on. Which one? Nas, the setup. Which one was that? Yep. Hold on. But that's not the one I was really looking for. Yeah, shootouts. I knew I had the name right. Nas, shootouts. Shootouts. Yeah, but it's waiting for me. I've seen plenty. Instead of diet plans, it's 200 grams. What? Rambo, the cop who got chasing niggas through my project made. What? Oh shit. Damn right. It was written as better than Illmatic. Hold on. So I ain't done. Hold on. I can't play it, obviously, because this is like album cuts. Like these channels will strike us, y'all. But I'm just trying to remember some of these songs from It Was Written. The Message. The Message? This was the second song on the album, right? Fake thug, no love. You get the slug. See before gusto. You luck though. I didn't know till I was drunk though. You freak niggas played out. Get fucked and ate out. Prostitutes her bitch. I got the gauge out. 96 ways I made out. Montana ways a good FELLA. Purple AK spray. But what? What? Let me stop. I gotta stop. Crazy. Omar Boss, appreciate the super chat, says, I still think Drake is a king of hip hop. Oh, is the king of hip hop. You can't forget eat the 15 years of his accomplishments Drake has done. Drake got 4 classic albums. So peep what you're saying. You're kind of like agreeing with the point that I made, or you're kind of saying a similar point that I made. But the only reason why we're disagreeing within the same point that we share is when you say still. So the accolades and the stuff that you're saying is the reason why he did undisputedly wear the crown. 100%. There's no denying that, like you said, can't forget the 15 years of all his accomplishments. That's why I have him on this list of 12 people that wore the crown. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not forgetting it. But then there's times of gray where they're calling into question, including Drake himself, when he's in that interview with LeBron in the barbershop talking about him, Kendrick, and Cole. Even Drake knows that my crown position is no longer a full consensus. There's challenges out there. And that's why I think for years people were waiting for Kendrick, Cole, and Drake to come to a spearhead. And it did finally. Cole dropped out of it. Kendrick and Drake did it. Let's step into the actual ring and figure out who it is. One person won, one person lost. So he did have a time where he was the undisputed king. There's even times where he was outside making albums and hit songs and all that, and Kendrick was in the shadows being quiet, not doing nothing. He absolutely wore the crown undisputedly for times or periods of time within hip hop. But Kendrick has just taken it. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you. I just disagree with the point where you say still. I think you're kind of mixing 2 points. I think you're saying, I think your comment is more going towards trying to say that he did wear it, and I'm not disputing it. He absolutely did, because we're not forgetting his past. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. So, how many of y'all disagree with the 12? And I'm going to I'm going to run down the 12 real quick and tell me, I don't have it up anymore. And tell me whether y'all agree or disagree, or if you feel like somebody else should have been on the undisputedly wore the crown list. So I'm going to try to do it off the top of my head because I don't got the list on my screen anymore. We had Rakim. We had LL Cool J. We had Big. We had Pac. We had Nas. We had Jay-Z. We had 50 Cent. We had Eminem. We had Drake. We had Kendrick Lamar. Who else did we have? We had Lil Wayne. And we had DMX. Right? Those are the 12. Of the 12, do y'all feel like there's a 13th person that wore the crown? Undisputedly. Didn't matter who else was out, who else was around. The consensus within the hip hop world was that that one person is wearing the crown by themselves. Is there a 13th? Yes, we just said that, Fredo. DMX was absolutely on a list of 12. Fredo, you might have missed the part where we was talking about Kanye. But I do see a couple Kanye moments in here. So y'all feel like y'all disagree that there was a time where Kanye undisputedly had the crown? It was solely worn by him and nobody else? I'm not mad at that. And I think I kind of alluded to that a little bit because he was the first person I put in that subtopic bracket of they was running shit. But I didn't put them in the wore the crown bracket. All right. You were never Avon Barksdale and you were never the Marlowe. But you had the light, or you was running shit, just like a Ludacris or a T.I. or a Busta Rhymes, but you was not the undisputed king. That means that you're over everyone at that time period. You know what I'm saying? I didn't put Kanye in that bracket, but I'm not mad at y'all. That's why I had him on that sub list. I'm not mad at y'all saying, yo, this isn't even a joke to me. Unpopular, popular opinion. Shout out to the mods and shout out to the members. I don't know if you put this up here to be serious or as a joke. So it is funny to see MC Hammer's name because we don't really, when we say hip hop, we want to, you know what I mean? Like MC Hammer was more of a, it's more in the gimmick realm of things, the more in the entertainer realm of things, the more of a machine thing. We think more about his choruses and his dancing and his videos more than we do about his actual raps and verses and substance and songs and overall album. It's just a different classification to me for MC Hammer. But his reign was crazy. MC Hammer's reign, they have documentaries on MC Hammer of how he went broke, and people are just astounded by it because they're just like, if you're MC Hammer and you had the moment that you had, like, how are you not still somewhere living up somewhere high on the hog? And then they did documentaries and breakdowns of how much money he spent on his entourage and all. He was probably one of the first people in hip hop to teach other rappers and other successful people to come along. You know, the phrase of don't try to bring everybody with you and don't try to take care of everybody, especially at that level. I think MC Hammer was the first person to teach that lesson to people to come after him. Can't take everybody with you. And no, just because it's your cousin doesn't mean that they get, $250,000 from your last show. You know what I'm saying? MC Hammer was the first person to really teach us that. But yo, I take that serious. Like that comment, I'm not mad at seeing somebody mention MC Hammer if you really know your history. Real shit. Yeah, I agree. I broke that down earlier. I mentioned Jeezy and T.I., and I spoke about that bracket. I spoke about Snoop. KRS-One, I say no because I put him in the same group of people of Kool Moe Dee, Kool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, maybe even Melly Mel and Rakim. And I feel like the overall hip hop consensus is that of that period of those people are giving it to Rakim. But Chris is Chris. Not Slick Rick. Slick Rick gets accolades for like one of the best storytellers. His image, his flashiness. He gets all that praise and appreciation. Even when he went home and came back, remember he did it all in like platinum and white gold because like those were the new times. He left all the so it's just dope to see what Slick Rick accomplished and what he did. And was it Children's Story will forever be a all-time classic. But Slick Rick never wore the crown to me. Indecisively, undisputedly, solely. I don't think that Slick Rick ever did that. Supin, Wicker, my bad. I'll say W. Appreciate the super. Double entendres are so revered, but I think storytelling and imagery is the best form of lyricism. Agree or not? Also, what about Jadakiss? Oh, so y'all want me to hang around on this live and really, really, y'all gonna put me on the spot for some of this shit, huh? Too. Okay. I don't need to say double entendres. I can just say creative lyricism, which is going to encompass double entendres, triples, metaphors, punchlines, the simile stuff, the multiple syllable stuff. Let's just put all of that in a bucket together, right? And I don't want to choose one or the other when it comes to displaying lyricism. We've seen lyricism get displayed in storytelling, and I feel like that really deserves a high level of credit is because if you need to tell a story, if you need to create a topic, if you need to paint a picture, doing it in rhyming format, and if that rhyming format is at a high level, that's not easy to do. Right. Even in the battle rap world, sometimes they criticize battle rappers for having bars that can apply to anybody. So customizing something to a particular, story, movie, moment, opponent, whatever, that's always going to be respected because you have to do it in rhyming format and then try to take that lyricism up as well. But I don't think that that's what shows lyricism more than just the bucket that we put all that other stuff in. I think they both have a different place, right? I think we need it all. And the best lyricists of the world, they're going to be able to do both. Like Eminem is going to be able to paint a visual picture for us as we listen to Stan, right? But then he's also going to do like God MC stuff where it's just like, I have to play this back to even hear all the words that he's saying, but this is like lyricism at its highest form. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you need both. I don't want to pick one or the other. And we did talk about Jadakiss earlier. I put Jadakiss in a bucket with Fabulous, and I feel like they was on that category that I broke down after my 12 Kings that I listed and that we did. So double back and definitely peep that category. They deserve the Fabulouses and the Jadakisses of the world. I feel like deserve that mention in that category that I broke down. Jadakiss is one of them niggas. And it's dope to see that he kind of got like a resurgence after the verses with the Dipset. It's dope to see that because Jadakiss was always a guy who's never going to sell that many albums. He's never going to have, the whole world watching him at the same time for that long of a period to be like a mega star. He was never a mega star. It was a time where he was even under DMX in the Rough Rider days, right? But we did always look at him as the lead guy of the Locks, and the Locks is a pinnacle group in hip hop. Um, Top five that are alive. Something a lot of people don't argue that when he says it. His rap ability is even in the top five, I think, of Eminem's. I think Eminem has Jada Kiss on his list, along with people like Andre 3000 and whatnot. But wearing the crown, no. No, like we said, there was even times when he was like under DMX and whatnot. It was never at a time where he was above Jay-Z or, or above like the next wave after, even after his verses when he's having his resurgence. Never ahead of Drake or Kendrick and Cole. Like he never wore the crown. I'm not saying that he didn't deserve to from a talent standpoint, but he never did. Jay-Z never wore the crown. See, Bankhead Ben, I brought you up here because you're a member and I respect everybody's comments, period. Stuff like this is where I want to bring the people up and I just want to hear you vocalize it. Like I could read this and just be like, I hope you have some context behind comments like this, homie. Jay-Z absolutely wore the crown. I do see some of those videos that go around and they talk about people's reigns and they build them into time periods. This period to this period, DMX's albums is out. This period to this period, it was Drake. This period to this period is Lil Wayne, whatever. I've seen those videos. I don't agree with them though. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, there's migration periods where it's like this person got it for 6 months. This person got it for a year. This person had it for 6 months. And then this person grabbed it and then that person ended up taking it back. Like where you can clearly say this moment, this crown, regardless of who's on the playing field, they are the king. And Jay-Z has done that. Like, to me, I mean, it's all opinion based, so I can't be mad at y'all, but could Little Baby have ever been in a lead or worn a crown while Drake was here? I don't know about this. I think he's in that second category. There's a time where he was like the hottest rapper. It's not the same as wearing the crown. We got to make sure that we differentiate. We spoke about Big Daddy Kane, homie. Nah, I got you, homie. I got you. I understand. Shout out to Fredo. We spoke about KRS-One. We spoke about Snoop. Oh, I like this. I like this one I'm about to bring up on the screen. Shout out to the chat. Could this have been a 13th? When I bring this guy up here, hip hop heads might be mad at me. The same way hip hop purists need to put on their memory to really understand the point I was making about MC Hammer and why I understand why people would say MC Hammer's name. This person might be the 13th. He might have wore the crown. Love it or not. He might have. Wait a minute now. I don't know. Green light. I ain't mad at you. He might have. He might have. Hip hop purists, once again, this is the Sorry Is True podcast. We're not gonna, I know what it is to be a hip hop head, which makes people always want to slight the MC Hammers and the Nellies and certain type of rappers. But as far as wearing the hip hop crown, undisputedly, Nike might owe this man a percentage of their company. Real shit. Well, Nike's one of the biggest companies in the world. Nike might owe this man a percentage of their company. Green light, good catch. That might be number 13. He might be. We spoke about No Limit. Shout out to Daryl. Y'all look crazy. Oh man, I appreciate you. Okay, what up? Is that MC Hammer y'all talking about? What? Yo, Bankhead Ben, you gotta stop, man. I respect you. You gotta stop, homie. You gotta stop. Mobb Deep is a classic group. Um, if we're gonna, that's a different video. Like then it would be like Goody Mob and Dungeon Family and Outkast and Woo and Mobb Deep and with the NWA. Like we're not first of all, it's not a group thing. We're talking. This was based around individuals wearing the crown solely, undisputedly, right? But Mobb Deep deserves mention, maybe probably in that second bracket and category that I broke down earlier. Mobb Deep got some shit. I mean, the infamous. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? We spoke about Slick Rick. I saw that. You think Big Daddy Kane wore the crown first? If you're talking about I mean, I think the first person to officially have the crown placed on their head was Rakim, but I don't even know if Big Daddy Kane could. When you say first like that, as if you're going on a time standpoint, they may have even been like on Kumo D before Big Daddy Kane, to be honest. But all right, green light. Now that next one I'm not putting up there because he's a mixtape legend. His mixtape run is stupid. I got them all. Got all his mixtapes. But come on, not for what we're talking about. Bun B deserves a good mention, but not as a king undisputedly. He was never on the scene at a time where he was surpassing every single person. No way. Akon to me is more on the R&B side, y'all. I see I'll put Akon, and no, I don't think he undisputedly ever had it. Ice Cube we mentioned. Prodigy had a dope moment when HNIC dropped and not drop a gem on him. Obviously everybody knows Quiet Storm, but what was his lead single from HNIC? Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. All right. Actually, so I told y'all in a prior stream that I was in the middle of getting my shower remodeled. My bad, y'all. So I'm gonna have to jump. And a lot of the construction, or I should say demo, was done yesterday. And now they're at the tile spot, so I gotta go over there and pay for the tile. So I gotta get up out of here, go run this errand. But yo, this was fun. I really appreciate y'all. I got a couple more lives I want to try to do. If I maybe tonight, if not, I got one that I want to do tomorrow. So we'll be right back at it. But yo, this was dope. Drop me your comments on what you agree, disagree with. I know there's people that in and out of the stream may have missed certain things. So when you watch this whole thing back and you go through the 12 kings, I want to know what you agree, disagree with. This is one of those videos where I feel like it can create good, healthy, fun debate. So hit me on my Twitter too. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Twitter, but hit me on my Twitter. I'll get back to some of y'all there. Let's have a little bit of debate. I like this one, man. We hip hop heads over here, and then we'll start getting back into some of the other topics too. We ain't going nowhere. Sorry it's true. Same old day. You know how we do. Appreciate y'all. I got y'all. We'll be back in a second.